I once read to take the word love out of Corinthians 13, 4 through 8 and replace it with your spouse's name. If that person matched the description of what love should be, you knew you were in the right relationship. I can easily put both of my parents' name into this Bible verse, and that's how I know that their love is real. I would question if true love existed if it wasn't for my parents. First, I'm going to give you a background on how they met and came to eventually be together. Then, I'm going to tell you stories from my point of view as well as from someone who knows them best. And last, I'm going to describe the lessons that their marriage has instilled in me. The first thing you need to know about my parents is how they ended up together. My mom moved to my dad's neighborhood when she was just 6 years old. My dad was 8, but luckily he had a 6-year-old little sister that my mom quickly became best friends with. If you ask the story from my dad's point of view, he always had a crush on my mom. But if you ask from my mom's point of view, he was just the annoying big brother. It took 8 years, but my mom eventually gave in to my dad and they started dating. At first, they kept their relationship a secret, or at least that's what they thought, but everyone knew. They weren't too good at hiding it and would even walk around the neighborhood holding hands. At the young ages of 20 and 22, my parents got married. Recently, Thomas Rhett released a song called Life Changes, where he says, "Bought a ring and she said I do, but everyone else said, man, you're 22, what you trying to prove? Why don't you wait? Because I've been waiting on her since the 2nd grade." Upon hearing these lyrics, my dad immediately teared up. He's a big softie like that, but he said these lyrics were almost exactly written for him and my mom. Now that you know a little bit about their background, let me tell you their story. Throughout my life, I've heard hundreds of stories about my mom and dad. I've heard about their wedding, when they were first-time parents, how they almost broke up when they were kids, and so much more. But looking back, I have so many stories of my own to pass down. My favorite stories to tell are the ones when dad makes my mom laugh. He can make her laugh so hard that she's crying. My dad's sort of a comedian and will do anything for a good laugh. For example, usually when he orders pizza from our local pizza shop, he'll give them a fake name. My mom's absolute favorite one was when he said he was George Bush and Secret Service would be picking it up. He does anything just to put a smile on her face, and my mom loves him more for it. When thinking about the person who would give a story about my parents, I had to pick the person who'd known them longer than I have. I called my grandma, and she told me the best story. When they first started dating, my dad's family went to Walt Disney World, while my mom's family went to Hawaii. My dad came up with the idea that in order to stay connected, even in different time zones, they would chew a piece of gum every day at the same time. Lastly, none of these stories would mean anything if they didn't carry down lessons. I think the best lesson I learned from my parents is that love should be easy. I never have to see them fight for each other's attention. They always put each other first. Of course, throughout their relationship, they've had to make sacrifices, but that has never caused them to lose sight of how important they are to each other. At the end of every day, I can count on seeing my parents together. They have the same nightly routine of dinner, walk the dogs, ride the golf cart, sit on the couch, and watch their favorite show. When they aren't together, I know I can still count on my dad calling my mom at least 5 times in the day, or I can count on my mom saying, "Wow, it's been a minute since your dad called," and then call him. My parents can always count on each other and definitely never fail to put each other first. The lessons my parents have taught me have definitely made an impact on the marriage I want for myself. I would question if true love existed if it wasn't for my parents. Their background of how they came to be, as well as stories from them and the people who know them best, are just a small insight into the amazing marriage that they have. Throughout my life, I've learned some of the best lessons from just watching my mom and dad. In conclusion, I wouldn't be the person I am today without my parents. They are easily the most selfless, caring, and amazing people that I know, and I hope to one day have a marriage exactly like theirs.